Yeah. Let me have the parties identified.
Your Honor, Jim Tyree for the department along with Chelsea Vasquez.
Dana Clift Williams, I represent the respondent mother, Maria Segovia, and I'm looking for her on the screen.
We have
I'm right
Oh, okay, I see. All right. She's present. We're ready, Your Honor.
Okay. Tell me how Maria is doing in services this month.
Maria's doing really well. She had her OSAR and she was referred to Padre, which she already has started doing. She had her intake with Padre a couple of weeks ago, so she's getting started on that. She had a negative oral drug test this month, and Alaric had his ECI evaluation and was not referred. He didn't qualify for services. I apologize. So getting started on everything and seems to be doing well.
Okay. All of that sounds very good. This is our second review hearing. Ms. Segovia, tell me what you're learning in your services so far.
I've only done 1 week worth of classes so far for the parenting and the drug classes, and it was more about asking for help and not trying to do things all on your own and having somebody there that you can talk to when you're going through things.
Okay. I like it so far. Ms. Evelyn, any concerns regarding the children?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. Ms. Cliff Williams, do you have anything to add?
No, Your Honor. I believe my client is engaged and doing what she needs to do.
All right. Good job, Ms. Segovia. I will set another review hearing for you May 21st at 9.
Okay, thank you.
My client's having trouble. She just texted me. She's having trouble getting on the Zoom meeting. Let me, can I resend her the link, please?
Okay, we'll do another one and we'll come back to that one. Let me have the parties identified.
Your Honor, Jim Tyree for the department along with Chelsea Vasquez.
Jim Shaw representing the parents.
Okay, it looks like the parents are present in the Heather box. Okay, tell me, tell me how these parents are doing in services this month.
They continue to do very well. They have both had their drug and alcohol assessment completed and they're starting Padre. So they'll both be doing that. They're both engaged with the family-centered treatment provider. I believe that's going very well. They had a negative oral drug test this month, and they're both starting counseling with Richard Gatlin. I did get recommendations back for Heather. I haven't got anything back for Jesse yet. And Mr. Gatlin wants for Heather to do individual and couples counseling as well as a substance abuse program, which she's doing. So everything seems to be going well with them. I don't have any concerns with them or the kids.
Very good. Okay, Ms. Brillin, Mr. Masters, y'all tell me what you're learning so far in these services and your counseling.
We've learned the importance of keeping our adult conversations private from the boys.
Okay.
We learned about emotion blocks and how they can, how not dealing with them and the trauma from that can cause trauma in the future. And we're dealing with our suppressed emotions in a healthy way. And because of our, and then our area of family functioning, which is effective involvement, we've learned about our love languages, and Heather and I want to be loved in a different way.
His is quality time, and mine is acts of service.
Okay. Let me hear from our family-centered treatment folks. How do you folks think these parents are doing in your private program?
Thank you, Your Honor. I think that we're doing very well, and we're really focusing on creating healthy boundaries and communication, especially as a couple, and they're learning how to better communicate with their children as well, and just how to deal with past trauma to ensure that it doesn't continue to this next generation.
What phase are they in?
They're in the second phase, ma'am.
You guys tell me what you think about drug use and parenting. How do those mix?
They don't.
They don't.
Okay, tell me what you're doing to make sure that you're getting off drugs permanently.
We're doing all of everything that we need to do with y'all, and I've been talking to Richard Gatlin about a lot of it, and I have another appointment next week with him.
My appointment's this tomorrow at 6 with Richard Gatlin.
Okay.
And we were gonna start the Padre last Thursday, but because it was Good Friday, me and Charles had to move our meeting up. So we weren't able to do that, but we will get done tomorrow for sure.
Sounds good. Ms. Murray, do you have any concerns regarding the master's kiddos?
Not at this time, Judge. The kiddos seem to be doing great.
Okay, very good. You parents are doing very well. It sounds like you're fully participating in your services, and I will sign an order saying that. So good job.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Set your next review hearing May 21st at 9. Thank y'all.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Ms. Robinson, did you have any luck?
I resent the link in an email. I had sent it in a text before, and she couldn't. It said that the meeting ID was invalid, so she's going to try it from an email.
Okay, parents. Let me have the parties identified.
Your Honor, Jim Tyree for the department, along with Chelsea Vasquez.
Eleanor
Janet
Robinson.
Cliff. Oh, sorry.
Go, Janet.
Janet Cliff Williams. I'm the attorney ad litem for the children.
Eleanor Robinson, attorney for the mama.
Jim Shaw representing the father.
Okay, this is our first compliance review hearing after our first court-ordered services hearing in March. Tell me how the parents are doing so far.
Taylor, she's doing very well. Jesse has got a little behind with the family center treatment, but I believe he's getting caught up on that. Where he's living, he doesn't have good phone service, so it's been hard scheduling appointments and stuff like that. But he's getting back on track. Taylor has had a mental health evaluation completed, and she's meeting with the psychiatrist. I believe it's either this week or next week. So she's getting that done. Jesse has started taking his medication for his mental health, and I'll be meeting with him tomorrow to get a release signed so we can get those records. Jesse and Taylor are both meeting with Shalita Tolson next week to start working on anger management, and they will be starting counseling with Choices counseling soon. So they're doing pretty well. Jesse has his drug and alcohol assessment with OSAR on Monday. He has not been asked to complete an alcohol test yet, but he states that he's been sober for the past 3 weeks. So we'll be getting an alcohol test done soon for him.
Okay, for the first hearing, that sounds very good. It sounds like all the appointments that we needed to set up have been set up.
Yes.
Very good. I won't ask the parents just yet what you're learning since we're just getting started, but Ms. Robinson, anything to add on behalf of Ms. Perez?
No, Your Honor, she's taken this really seriously and getting going as best as she can. It took her several times of contacting the providers before they contacted her back.
Mr. Shaw, anything on behalf of Mr. Perez?
No, Your Honor, he's got started on the services and just need to follow through.
Ms. Cliff Williams, do you have any concerns regarding the children?
No, Your Honor, they're doing very well.
Okay, we didn't talk about safety plans. Do we have a safety plan in place?
Yes, and they are following that safety plan.
Good. Our family center treatment folks, how are they doing in your part of the program so far?
Yes, Your Honor. So Taylor has been actively engaged in her sessions with the FCT program as well as the children, and we should be moving to the next phase of treatment next week. Again, Jesse has not been meeting with me. He's only met with me once, and that was on 3/28. So he's behind in the program. I have made several attempts in order to communicate with him. There's a lack of communication with him on his end. And I've even offered transportation to get him to and from sessions. So that's the disconnect with him.
Okay. Mr. Perez, can you unmute yourself? Mr. Shaw, can you get with your client and see if we can figure out a better way to communicate? Certainly don't want him to fall off on this part of the program. Hopefully we'll have a better report next time. Okay, next hearing will be May 21st at 9. Parties identified. Thank y'all.
Your Honor, Jim Tyree for the department, along with Lupe Perez.
Eleanor Robinson representing Savannah Luna, the mother.
Jim Shaw representing the father.
Sarah Hudman representing the children.
What is the status of service on the parents?
Your Honor, a citation was issued and picked up by the sheriff on Monday, April 21st, and they have not been served yet, to my knowledge.
Ms. Robinson, is your client in agreement with the Texas Family First program and participating in the services the department's requested?
She is in agreement with the Texas Family First program. We are not exactly certain about what services the department is requesting.
Okay, let's talk about that. First of all, what are the issues with this family that we're trying to address?
We have concerns of ongoing domestic violence.
Okay, what are the services we're asking Miss Luna to do?
Miss Luna, individual therapy, parenting classes, life skills, alcohol abuse classes. The last altercation, she was intoxicated. We're also asking for assessment for choices at the Hill County Crisis and just to follow through with TFF, Texas Family First.
Ms. Robinson, anything about those services your client is not in agreement with?
Well, we disagree that she was actually intoxicated during the last altercation. She had 6 drinks, but it was over a course of 11 hours. So we disagree with the intoxication stuff, but we agree with all of the domestic violence stuff.
Okay, I'm going to take off the alcohol abuse class. Let's remove that from the service plan unless the therapist sees a problem there. Let's make sure the therapist gets a copy of the affidavit and addresses the allegation, though, with the mother.
Yes, Your Honor.
And I'll follow the therapist's recommendations about whether or not the mother needs help with alcohol use.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. What about Mr. Vasquez? What are we asking Mr. Vasquez to do?
Individual therapy, parenting classes, anger management, assessment for BIP, alcohol abuse classes, continue drug testing in addition to Texas Family First program.
Mr. Shaw, is your client in agreement with participating in the Texas Family First program and these services?
Yes, Your Honor, but we'd have the same objection as far as the alcohol treatment.
Okay, I'll make the same ruling on that. Do we have a safety plan in place?
Yes, currently they cannot reside together and father's contact will be supervised with child.
Mr. Robinson, is your client in agreement with that safety plan?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Shaw?
Yes, Your Honor.
As far as the father's supervision, who's going to supervise that contact?
We have a maternal grandmother supervising contact.
Okay, so the parents are not to be left alone with the children?
Correct.
With the child?
Correct.
Okay. Ms. Hudman, any concerns regarding Selena?
Not at this time, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Vasquez, Ms. Luna, you both need to understand that this is a court order and that if you fail to participate in the services like you need to, Selena will probably be removed from your home. And I don't want the department to hesitate in any way if we have any evidence that the safety plan is being violated. I don't want the department to hesitate in removing this child from the parents if we see that the parents are not engaging in services right away. Frankly, I read this affidavit and I'm very, very concerned that this child is still in the home of a parent. So, like I said, please, department officials, don't hesitate to remove this child if these parents don't take these services very, very seriously starting today. You understand, Ms. Luna? Do you understand, Ms. Luna?
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand, Mr. Vasquez?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I'm going to set your first compliance review hearing May 21st at 9 a.m. We'll talk about your service plan. We'll talk about what all you're doing in services at that time. Okay. Anything else we need to take up?
We have nothing else, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
All right. We'll be adjourned. Thank you all. Let me have the parties identified.
Your Honor, Jim Tyree for the department along with Gage Polk.
Janet Clift-Williams, I represent Hakeem Sayles, the respondent mother, and she has that precious little baby here, Olivia.
Jim Shaw representing the father.
Eleanor Robinson representing a child.
Okay. Mr. Tyree, what is the status of service on these parents?
Your Honor, Ms. Sayles' citation was returned unserved on March 11th, and Mr. Simmons was served on March 17th.
And Your Honor, we'd be happy to enter a notice of appearance.
Okay. Ms. Cliff-Williams, if you want to just send a file and answer or something, that might be easiest.
I will do that, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Looks like we still have Olivia placed with her mother, hopefully at Serenity.
Yes, ma'am. We're here at the Serenity House.
Okay, who's our worker?
Gage Polk, Your Honor.
Mr. Paul, tell me about the baby. Tell me how we're doing.
Well, she is doing tummy time with mom. We have gotten an ECI referral done, but I'm not sure that they've been in contact with Ms. Sayles just yet. I know that we had tried to get it transferred from whenever she was in foster care into Plainview. So baby's doing really well. We did have some concerns about a fitted sheet at one point, but we got that taken care of. Safe sleep is being done very well. And it looks like the baby is really well cared for and loved at this time.
Ms. Robinson, do you have any concerns?
Oh.
Olivia.
No, Your Honor. She's doing well with her mom at the Serenity Center.
Ms. Sayles, you wanted to say something?
Yes, we did get the ECI done.
Okay.
Yeah, they came last week on the 16th and did it. And they said she had no delay or anything. But
Okay. Did they suggest any services?
no.
Good. Okay. Mr. Simmons, do you have any concerns regarding the baby?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Tell me about Ms. Sayles' plan of service. What are we asking her to do in this case?
Yes, ma'am. We are asking that she maintain stable housing. She is currently residing in Plainview Serenity Center and plans to reside there and utilize their supportive program. She is on a waiting list for the Downtown Women's Center, a shelter in Amarillo. We are also asking that she maintain employment. At this time, she does not have a legal source of income due to being in Serenity Center. So when she's out or when she's doing supportive, we would ask that she would have a legal source of income. Refrain from criminal activity and ensure compliance with any pending charges. Ms. Sayles has not had any further or any criminal history that we know of at this time. Participate in random drug testing. We have sent her off for drug testing. At this time, the results are still pending, so we will get those to the court as soon as possible. If positive, we would ask that Ms. Sayles participate in an OSAR assessment. At this time, there haven't been any positive drug tests. So, participate in individual counseling. At this time, she is participating with her counselor at Serenity Center. We would ask that she participate in psychological evaluation. The appointment hasn't been set, but we have referred her. Parenting classes. We would ask that Ms. Sayles participate in parenting classes at the Serenity Center and then maintain contact with permanency specialists. I've been in contact with Ms. Sayles weekly for the past month.
Okay. Ms. Robinson, Ms. Cliff Williams, any concerns with that plan of service?
No, Your Honor, I don't have any concerns at all.
Okay. Anything to add as far as your client's participation so far?
I believe she started on her services. Anything that's offered there at Serenity Center, if there are parenting classes there, I would presume that she's going to engage in those while she's there at Serenity.
So, you doing all you can at Serenity Center?
Yes, ma'am. And they do have parenting classes, and we take them every week. And so, yeah.
Very good. Ms. Sayles, what is your plan? Tell me how far along in the program you are there and tell me what's your plan afterwards.
Well, I have a month left for just the regular treatment, and then after that, I can go supportive for up to 2 months, I believe. Yeah, up to 2 months, I can go supportive, and that way I can go out and look for a job and stuff, And I have already contacted the Downtown Women's Center yesterday. They called me, I called them, and they set up an interview for me either next week or the week after, since I'm not going to leave. I'm not discharged technically till May 23rd here.
Okay, tell me about the Women's Center. What kind of services do they provide?
It's kind of like here, but it's a longer program, and they help you get on your feet as far as like housing and a job, and they have all different kinds of services, just like how here has with the parenting and counseling and things of that nature.
Very good. I will approve the mom's plan of service. Tell me about Mr. Simmons. What are we asking him to do?
Yes, ma'am. So I have been in contact with Mr. Simmons at the beginning of this month. We would ask that he maintain a housing. Mr. Simmons will maintain clean, safe, and stable housing free of environmental hazards, illicit drug use or alcohol abuse, and domestic violence. Mr. Simmons is currently living with his father, but has advised that he is looking for an independent home of his own. Maintain employment. Mr. Simmons will maintain a legal source of income. Mr. Simmons does not have a source of income at this time. He does odd jobs with his father. Participate in supervised visitation. Mr. Simmons will participate in weekly visitation 2 hours per week. Visitation is being set up for him in Amarillo at this time. Refrain from criminal activity to ensure compliance with any pending charges. He is compliant. No new charges have been provided to us. Participate in random drug testing. I believe we sent him earlier this month, and the results were pending. I'm not sure if we got those or not. If positive, we'll participate in an OSAR assessment. There have been no positive drug screens at this time. Participate in individual counseling. We are setting up individual counseling with Choice Timmons in Amarillo. Participate in psychological evaluation. No appointment has been set up at this time. Participate in parenting classes. Mr. Simmons is being referred to virtual parenting classes. And then maintain contact with permanency specialist. He is in compliance with that, and he has been in contact with me.
Mr. Shaw, any issues with the plan of service?
No, Your Honor.
Anything to add as far as his progress?
Jesse, do you have any update on your service?
You need to unmute yourself. Mr. Simmons, did we lose you? One of the issues at the adversary hearing that we didn't address was paternity. I did not order a paternity test. I don't think Ms. Sayles needed or wanted a paternity test done, but because Mr. Simmons wasn't present, I didn't order one. Mr. Simmons, and now he's frozen. And we lost him. There you go. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Sorry, I've not done this Zoom very many times.
It's okay.
Yes, I'm here.
Mr. Simmons, would you like to have a paternity test done?
Yes.
Okay, I will order a paternity test. Okay, I will approve the plan of service for both parents, and I will set this for an initial permanency hearing, August the 27th at 9. Okay, anything else? Let me have the parties identified.
I don't believe so, Judge. Your Honor, Jim Tyree for the department along with Gage Polk.
Jim Shaw representing the mother.
Eleanor Robinson representing the child.
Okay, tell me about Avery. Gage Polk is coming in now. See the worker on ward?
No, Your Honor, Veronica Ramirez is the worker on ward.
Okay, let's do ward then. This is a permanency hearing.
Your Honor, Jim Tyree for the department along with Veronica Ramirez.
Your Honor, Eleanor Robinson representing the mother.
Sarah Hedman, attorney for father, Chad Moore.
Jim Shaw, attorney at Latham.
Harry Peoples, Kase.
Okay, tell me about Harland. Where is Harland?
Harland is currently placed in Littlefield with a relative. This case was just transferred to me, Your Honor. So I did get to meet him for the first time this month. He seems like a good kid. He's doing really well in the home. Relative is really supportive. He's doing well in school. Loves to play football, basketball, engages in sports. He's doing well in the home. Medical, dental, current. There are no concerns right now.
We have an approved home study on the uncle?
We're waiting on it. Oh, I'm sorry. The home study. Yes, Your Honor. I'm sorry. I was thinking of the ICPC.
We also have an ICPC pending on somebody?
On his father.
Whose father?
Harland's father. Sorry.
Chad Moore.
Yes.
Yes, Judge. I think he lives in Arkansas.
Yes.
Yes.
Or Kentucky.
Arkansas.
I think it's Arkansas.
Okay. Tell me the status of that.
As of right now, nothing has came back. I did speak to Harland about that. He did voice that if everything does check out before actually getting placed with his father, he would like to do maybe a weekend visit just to make sure that's exactly what he wants.
I understand. I think that's a good idea.
I do too.
Okay. Any sort of medical issues with Harland?
No, Your Honor, not that I'm aware of.
Okay, tell me about school. What grade is he in?
He is in the, oh, that's, give me a second, Your Honor. I can't remember right off the bat. I know he's doing really well in school. I want to say the 9th grade. He's passing. He's making friends. There was no concerns as far as schooling.
Okay,
Your Honor, I think he's actually in the 8th grade.
Oh, is it? Okay.
that would make more sense unless he's a prodigy, which is possible. Okay, Mr. Shaw, do you have any concerns regarding Harland?
No, Your Honor.
Kase, any concerns regarding Harland?
No, Judge. He seems to be doing really well in his placement, and he is doing well in school. He also expressed to Kase that he is, ready to move with his father if that's a possibility once the ICPC is approved.
Okay, we'll come back to that. Miss Robinson, any concerns on behalf of Miss Ade?
Not as regards to Harland.
Miss Hedman, does your client have any concerns regarding Harland?
Not to my knowledge, Judge.
Do we have visits going on, phone calls or FaceTime or Zoom visits or anything like that going on between Mr. Moore and Harland?
Yes, Your Honor. I believe they're every Saturday in the therapeutic setting with Peggy Skinner, I believe.
Good. How are they going?
They've been going wonderful. As far as I'm concerned, there's no concerns. And they've been consistent.
Okay. Very good. Tell me how Miss Ade is doing in services.
He continues to participate in individual therapy, where progress is being made. There are no concerns. He's doing everything the department's asking, Your Honor. There's no concerns on our end.
For Dad?
With who, I'm sorry?
Are you talking about Dad or Mom?
Dad. As
Okay.
far as Mom, I'm not aware as far as her participating in any services.
Miss Robinson, are you aware of Miss Ade participating in any services?
I have nothing to add, Your Honor.
Miss Hudman, anything to add on behalf of your client?
No, Judge, he's just ready to have his child. And my hope, and I know that ICPC is an issue, but my hope is that regarding the timing that the child is able to finish school in Littlefield and then spend the summer with his dad.
Yeah, we have a final hearing, and the next permanency hearing will be June the 18th at 9. I think if Mr. Moore can be present for that final hearing, even if we don't have an approved ICPC home study, we can possibly have a dismissal and just let him take his job.
Okay. I will certainly talk to him about that.
Okay, and if Miss Ade appears, and certainly Miss Robinson, if you have any luck with her, you guys can maybe negotiate a final order in this thing. That would be the best case scenario. Otherwise, we might have a final hearing and possibly terminate her rights on June the 18th.
I understand, Your Honor.
So I think the better alternative, especially for her, is to work out an agreed final order where that doesn't happen and she gets some visits possibly, but that's up to her.
Yeah, Your Honor, that would have to mean that she'd return phone calls or letters.
Okay, anything else on Harland?
No, Your Honor.
No, Judge.
Okay, next hearing, June 18th at 9. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Judge.
We don't have him back.
Judge, I don't even see him on the screen
No,
now.
it's not.
He's restarting. He's having some computer issues and he's restarting and it's doing some kind of update. So
He's identified.
Your Honor, Jim Tyree for the department along with Taylor McDonald.
Ms. McDonald, tell me about Colton.
I have not had any luck in reaching him. He hasn't contacted me either. The last time we spoke was September of last year.
Okay, Colton has been out of care for some time now. Mr. Tyree, is the department wanting to dismiss?
Your Honor, I believe so. I think we've long past the end of the trial independence period, and I don't think he's shown any indication that he wants to come back into care. So we will be submitting to the courts the paperwork to get to end this case.
Okay, the court will sign a dismissal as soon as I see it. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Let me have the parties identified.
Your Honor, Jim Tyree for the department along with Uriah Alvarez.
Lindsay Murray on behalf of the adult, now adult.
Okay, tell me about Catherine. What do we know about Catherine?
Yes, Your Honor. Catherine is in Plainview with her mother currently.
She was wanting to consider going back to complete her high school education. She was not wanting to do a GED. However, in the last month, she did find out that she's pregnant, and so that has changed a lot of her plans. She has since been referred to the local, I believe it's called the South Plains Community Action Early Head Start program. They can help her with prenatal services as well, but that's the closest one to her to help her with this at this time.
Your Honor, may I?
Sure.
So I talked to Catherine, and she's actually living with her grandmother, and her mother confirmed this. When I was in contact, it's my understanding that Catherine, she wants the CPS case to close, and she's 19 at this point, Judge. So on behalf of her, that's what I'm requesting of the court at this time.
Mr. Tyree?
Your Honor, this is another case that's well past the trial independence period, and although I think she's probably getting maybe a little input and services from the department, I don't think she's actually in extended foster care, and I don't think we have an objection to that.
Okay.
My client can correct me if I'm misstating, but.
Okay.
No correction.
The court will dismiss the case on Catherine. Thank you. We'll be adjourned.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Let me have the parties identified. Thank you, Mr. Ratton.
Your Honor, Jim Tyree for the department along with Gage Polk.
Jim Shaw representing the mother.
Okay, tell me about Avery. Looks like she is with an aunt in Lubbock.
Yes, ma'am. So Avery is a 9-year-old female in the 4th grade. She is placed with her aunt Teresa. She's a very sweet girl who loves to read. She loves math. She is not doing well in math and needs a tutor, but we're working on getting her some tutoring services for that. She likes coloring and playing with dolls with her aunt. She does have visitation with her mom on Sundays, and she appears to be on target developmentally at this time.
Healthy? Do we have any sort of medical concerns?
No, ma'am, not at this time. I believe I can look. I don't think she has any medications or anything like that.
Okay, very good. Do we have an approved home study on the aunt?
Yes, ma'am, we do.
Is the aunt a long-term placement if we need her to be?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ms. Robinson, do you have any concerns regarding Avery?
Not Avery directly. I do have some concerns voiced to me by placement. She's worried because, and Avery did say this too, that mom had asked Avery what happened to the Social Security income she was supposed to be getting, and I said that's not an Avery problem. And I have some long-term concerns that I just need to know if anybody has talked to the aunt about licensing for PCA or adoption.
Okay, Mr. Pog, is the aunt interested in adoption or PMC with PCA? Have you talked to her about those options?
I have. I believe she would like if Dwana doesn't do her services and she doesn't feel she can be stable for Avery, she would aunt would like to adopt if possible.
Okay, has she started licensing?
No, ma'am, she hasn't.
Okay, let's talk about Ms. Jones' participation in services.
Yes, ma'am. I spoke to Miss Jones at the beginning of this month, and she does feel that she's not getting much better. She doesn't feel that she's necessarily stable enough to have Avery at this time. She texted me earlier this month and said that she'd like to give conservatorship to Miss Teresa. And I advised her to get with Mr. Shaw, her attorney. She has been doing, for the most part, most of her services. She has refrained from all criminal activity. She does not have legal income at this time and is currently living off of her savings. I think that was something that Ms. Robinson was alluding to. She did say that she wasn't getting the Social Security survivors income anymore. And I think Ms. Robinson can talk more about that. She does have residence. It's a studio apartment and it is income based. Because she doesn't have an income, she doesn't pay rent at this time. She does weekly 2-hour visits with Avery. Avery has recently been canceling those visits because Avery feels uncomfortable around her mother at times, and feels that her mom isn't necessarily the most stable at this time. So we are still actively asking Avery every week, do you want to go to visits? I have our FSW ask Avery specifically. And so we're still asking Avery if she would like those. Dwana has not completed any parenting classes. She was attending them virtually, but due to technical difficulty, I advised that she needed to start doing those in person in Lubbock on the 2nd of this month. Since she texted me, she hasn't done that. She has been referred to drug and alcohol OSAR, a drug and alcohol screening, but she hasn't set that up. We have referred her to drug and alcohol testing on a hair strand in January. She was positive for marijuana. She was positive for marijuana on a UA in January. In February, she was a no-show due to transportation issues. And in April, she stated she no longer wants to work services and she was referred to her attorney whenever she was asked to drug test for us. Ms. Jones will actively and consistently attend, participate, and complete individual counseling and family therapy if recommended. She has been attending counseling sessions with Robert Moreno. The recommendations include maintain sobriety, finish acquiring furnishings for her home, and longer visits with her child as long as she maintains her sobriety. Ms. Jones will participate in a psychological evaluation. She was referred to that and the results are pending. And Ms. Jones understands that she must have face-to-face contact with permanency specialist a minimum of 1 time per month. She has been compliant with that, and she does meet with me monthly.
Mr. Shaw?
The mother is engaged in services. I'm concerned that we're letting the child dictate the visitation. The whole issue, I guess, as far as her not being comfortable around the mother, then that's what the visits, especially if they could be therapeutic, are about, is trying to get to the root of any issues that they have between them. So I would ask, unless we have a therapist not recommending visits, that the visits go forward.
Yep. Let's make sure that we set up visits in a therapeutic setting. And Mr. Shaw's right. We shouldn't have a 9-year-old dictating whether or not visits happen.
Yes, ma'am, will do.
Let's move them to the therapeutic.
Avery did give concerns to me that on phone calls, so that's why she stopped having phone calls whenever mom wanted. On phone calls, she said that she could tell that her mom was high while she talked to her on the phone. So I would be fine. I think a therapeutic visits would be great.
Okay, let's set up therapeutic visits, and certainly if the therapist doesn't think those are productive, then I will follow therapist recommendations about how to set up therapists or set up visits after that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, anything else? All right, I'm gonna set this for another permanency hearing and a final hearing, August the 20th at 9. All right, thank y'all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, Jim Tyree for the department along with Veronica Ramirez.
Jim Shaw, attorney at Latham.
Harry Peoples, Kase.
Okay, tell me about Evan. Looks like we moved to a new home in a new group home in Houston.
Yes, ma'am. His former placement gave notice due to behaviors. So that is the reason why he was moved. Um, when he first got to the placement, of course, he was in the honeymoon stage. He was doing wonderful. However, his case manager has voiced that his behaviors are escalating. He was suspended from school because he cursed at the principal via email. I have spoke to therapists about that, getting that addressed. And the therapist, who is Bo Johnson, has also reported that Evan's just not participating in behavioral therapy and and individual therapy. But we'll continue to encourage him. I spoke to him about the incident with school, trying to just talk to him about it and see what the problem is and how I can help. He did voice that it was an accident, that he didn't mean to, and he apologized to the principal. However, they still suspended him. He's struggling a little bit with his grades. He took a STAR test. He felt that he did okay. As far as his well-being, he's doing wonderful. I mean, he's healthy. He is having a little bit of difficulty getting along with one of the kids that is at this placement. I mean, the department's here just to continue to encourage him. The department is also looking at, I have submitted all the paperwork for the HCS homes to see if we could, get something long-term for him, due to the parents not willing to accept him back in the home. They were doing family therapy, the parents and Evan. However, Evan was just not focused in the sessions. He was too busy talking basically to his parents about other things. So the therapist did stop family therapy and is just focusing on individual therapy with Evan, and will implement family therapy when he feels it is best. He continues to have visits with his parents every Wednesday. I spoke to his parents yesterday. They did report that last week's visit was probably one of the best visits they've had. At times he wants to get off early. But last week, it was a good visit.
Okay, so the long-term permanency plan for Evan is to find an HCS home for him?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me what about Evan would qualify him for an HCS home?
His intellectual disability, he has FAS.
Okay, Mr. Shaw, anything to add?
Nothing additional, Your Honor.
Kase.
Judge, we're just concerned about his behaviors, both at the previous placement and, this one, and just the lack of participation, sorry, in therapy. We know therapy, individual and family, would be so beneficial, but I understand they can't force him to, participate. But that would be our main recommendations, is just that he can get that family therapy and individual therapy, and continue looking for the HCS home.
Ms. Ramirez, tell me, is there anything fun or pleasurable to do at this placement for Evan? Any good spots in his life?
Yes. I mean, Evan, when he does well, he's a great kid. He's always happy demeanor. Very fun to talk to. His fun time, he likes to, listen to music. That's his coping skill. When he's upset, he likes to listen to music. I've talked to him about maybe working out to help him with that stress, or when he feels frustrated. So he has a, voice that he would like to do track. He likes to play video games. There's some good to him, and I just think we just need to keep encouraging him as far as the individual therapy, and just try to get him the help that he needs.
Yeah, he's going to be 17 soon. Are we working on life skills with him? Are we working on PAL? What are we doing as far as preparing him for adulthood?
PAL, he is working on PAL. And I believe life skills is implemented in that as well. I've spoke to him about even looking for a job. So that is something he is interested in. he has voiced that he wants to go to college, but of course, he has to maintain his grades now and, work on those behaviors. And, he's repeating the 9th grade. So he's struggling a little bit.
What about a job this summer? Is there anything in the area that he would be able to do?
I believe he's looking into Whataburger or McDonald's. He just says something in a restaurant setting that keep him busy. When we do speak about jobs, he does seem pretty excited about that.
Good.
So.
Okay. Anything else on Evan?
And Judge, I don't know if I missed it or anything, but he does say he wants his ID, and I don't know if that's being worked on right now as well, but he does want that. And also he does love to read.
Okay, he's definitely going to need an ID if he gets a job. So where do we stand on getting him an ID?
He does have an ID, Your Honor. When he was at last placement, they took him to get that ID. The former caseworker did tell me she mailed it to St. Francis. So I'm just currently waiting on that so I could get that to him.
Okay. And what about a social security card and his birth certificate? Does he have those documents?
He does. He has a copy of it. I got that from his mom.
Okay, very good. Okay, let's make sure he has enough books to read. That's a very good thing.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I will set another review hearing for Evan, August 27th at 9.
Your Honor, Jim Terry for the department, along with Veronica Ramirez.
Jim Shaw, attorney at Latham.
Carrie Peoples Kase.
Michael Haynes, Kase.
Okay, Justin's living with a sister in Slayton.
He is. He was actually, it was a great day, Your Honor, when we got him moved with his sister. He's been in care most of his life. So when we were able to get him moved with his sisters, he was, very happy, emotional about it. I went to see him last week. He reported to me that he feels safe, that he loves it. And, it's the best feeling ever. He's doing wonderful. He attends Slayton High School. He's passing, good head on his shoulders, wants to go to college once he is done. He's in the 11th grade. He continues to do individual and behavior therapy. He's completed PALS. He does equine therapy once a month, every third Saturday of the month. He's doing really wonderful. On his free time, he likes to play video games. He loves to read, play, with his nieces. He's doing great. The only concern I have as far as placement, I was recently made aware that his sister lost her job. So the department is helping her with job resources and even has offered to assist to help with, any kind of bills that is need be. So that is the only concern I do have.
Any medical issues with Justin? Healthy boy?
No medical issues. Healthy kid.
Looks like he is on some mood medications. Any issues with his medications?
No, we did have a conversation about the importance of staying on those medications, and he's doing that regularly, Your Honor. No side effects, so he's doing great.
Very good. Mr. Shaw, any concerns regarding Justin?
Well, no, Your Honor, he's really happy with this new placement.
Good deal. Kase, any concerns regarding Justin?
Not at all. He's doing fantastic. Besides being an avid reader, he writes books. He's uploaded them onto the internet for me, and I've read a couple, and he's actually very talented child. Very intelligent. He loves being at his sister's house. I am also concerned that his sister lost her job. I don't want to see him move back. We've talked about his medication, and I explained to him that the best thing he can do is to help his sister and take his medication on time in the right way at the same time every day. And he said he would do that and not do anything to jeopardize this placement.
Awesome. What about maybe a job for him this summer? Help out.
He does want to get a job. They've started him on Aceable to get his driver's license. Is what his sister used to get her license. So he's right now studying with Aceable to get that, but he is intending to get a job this summer.
Okay, good. Mr. Ramirez, does he have all of his documents he needs to do that? ID, birth certificate, social security card?
He actually misplaced his identification card, so I will be taking him soon to do that. Perhaps on the day that he has that therapy, we could get it scheduled for Friday. I'm gonna take him to go, get a haircut, get an ID, just have some fun with him and get what he needs to get done so he can obtain that job in the summer. He voices that he wants to help around the house. He's a responsible kid and he's just very helpful.
Okay, very good. Sounds like he's doing great. Hopefully we can get sister back on her feet and that won't be an issue anymore.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, set another review hearing August 27th at 9. Let me have the
Thank
parties
y'all.
identified.
Thank you.
Your Honor, Jim Tyree for the department along with Monica Higgins.
Lindsay Murray on behalf of the children.
Okay, tell me about these kiddos. Where are they? And tell me how they're doing.
Kase is living with fictive kin. She was doing okay. I think it was a week ago, she had an incident at school where she thought she was taking a hit off of a THC vape pen, but upon further investigation, it was some new drug, like synthesized mushrooms. So she had a seizure on the floor of her Spanish classroom and she was taken to UMC via ambulance. She was released the next morning. She seems to be okay. She's not complaining of any withdrawals or anything like that, but she was sent to DAEP.
Okay, we'll come back to that in just a second. Other medical issues with Kaysen?
No, they did say Kaysen did report that she was trying to self-medicate with the vape. And so placement has decided to take her back and get her on some medication, like depression medicine, but they haven't informed me if that happened or what that medication was. They're on vacation right now.
Okay, I was gonna maybe circle back to the drug issue and see if we needed to try to get her involved in some drug classes or anything like that. You need rehab or drug classes or anything to help her understand how very, very serious vaping is and what it does to her body.
I mean, it wouldn't hurt.
I don't think that would be a bad thing.
Okay.
Let's see if she will agree. I know she's 16 years old and but let's see if she'll agree to take at least one class, just forming her of the very, very serious dangers associated with vaping.
Perfect.
I was reading a story about teenagers and vaping and what it does to lungs and seeing the pictures of lungs.
It's awful.
Of young people who are vaping, and it's just terrifying. So let's see if we can show her some pictures of what lungs look like of young people.
Tactic. Okay, I can do that.
So maybe it will scare her too. Okay, tell me about school.
Well, she was doing good. I haven't touched base with her since she was sent to DAEP yet. But I do plan to get in touch with her at the end of this week when they get back in from being out of town. Placement said that Kaysen wakes up with a happy heart every day to go to school, that she's not giving any pushback, but that she's attending regularly.
Grades okay?
Yes.
Okay. Are we talking about maybe a driver's license for her?
We could. She hasn't requested one yet, but I can bring it up next time I see her.
All right. Tell me what she likes to do.
Kaysen likes to read and she likes to draw. She's really into anime and manga. I don't know how to say it.
Okay. Good. All right. Is she in therapy?
Yes. Wait, yes. She is in individual therapy biweekly.
Okay, but the placement is going to take her to see a psychiatrist to talk about maybe getting her on some medications?
Yes, ma'am.
What does the therapist think about that?
I can ask.
Yeah. Okay. What about Bryson? Where is Bryson?
Bryson is at Flyer. He also has had an incident recently. We did the 25-day staffing yesterday. There was a little boy, well, he wasn't little, there was an older boy there that was making sexual advances at Bryson and asking him to be his boyfriend. It was addressed and the boy was removed and sent to a different facility. And Bryson hasn't expressed any further, I don't want to say trauma, but problems with it. He feels safe now that the boy has been removed. But the investigation hasn't closed yet because more victims are coming forward.
Okay. Health-wise, how is Bryson doing?
He's doing really well. He's still on all of his medications. And he does weekly individual therapy as well. He, when I spoke to him about classes, he kind of grumbled, but he said, "I'm doing my work, miss." So he's cooperating, and his anger for female authority figures seems to have calmed down quite a bit. So I think therapy is helping him.
Good. So we had some concerns about defiance and that sort of thing the last time we were here, and all of that's getting better.
It seems to be, yes. He, when we went, it was a transfer case from Chris Salinas, and so he went with me, and we all basically talked about if Bryson was going to be okay with me being his caseworker, if he preferred a male, and it was, "No, ma'am, I'll be okay. I promise I'll be respectful." So I think he's getting a lot better.
Good. Tell me how he's doing in school.
He's passing his classes. Just the bare minimum, but he's getting by, and he's being respectful to his teachers. But it's all computer-based out there.
Okay. Let's talk about permanency. First of all, with Kase, is our victim Ken still working on adoption?
Yes, ma'am.
Where are we in that process?
She said that she is working on it. So when I go back out and see her next month, we're going to talk a little bit more in depth about what she's going to do with Kase over the summer and her progress as far as getting licensed.
And I think she's pretty close. Last month, she just had a few more trainings, a little bit more paperwork. And so she was close to being licensed. And she's been licensed before, so she's familiar with the process. She knows exactly what to do. But I can bet she'd be licensed in the next 45 days or so.
Okay.
Thank you, Jessica.
Do we have everything else ready for that adoption?
Pretty much. We have a HESIC, we have redaction back, I believe. We might need a supplemental redaction since it's been a while, but I think that would be the only holdup. She's adopted before, so she's probably going to use the same adoption attorney, and I don't see any barriers to the adoption.
Okay. And what about Bryson? What is the plan for permanency for Bryson?
Unrelated adoption. I know that he is part of the TARE program, and I think that he'll be easier to find placement for the more therapy he does and the more he learns to control his anger. But currently, it's still unrelated adoption.
Okay, and the fictive Kim placement for Kase is not willing to take Bryson in?
Not at this time.
Do Bryson and Kase get to talk to each other? Do they get any visits?
Yes.
Okay, how those go?
I haven't supervised one of those yet, but they do get to speak and they do get to see each other.
Great. Miss Murray.
I don't have anything additional to add at this time, Your Honor.
Okay. Very good. I'll set another review hearing August 27th at 9. All right. Thank you all.
Thank you.
We'll be adjourned.
Thank you.
Good day.
Julie Painter with the department. Also present is FBSS worker Elaine Lucero.
Shaw representing the father.
Eleanor Robinson representing the child.
Okay, and I do see Mr. Moore present.
Yes,
Do
ma'am.
you have Miss Mason there with you?
No, I'm on separately.
Okay, I see you now. Okay, tell me how these parents are doing in services this month.
Can you hear me? I'm sorry.
Okay. They have been doing great. They moved to the Amarillo area, so the case was reassigned to me out here. Madison, she did complete a psychosocial last week with her therapist, and I believe this week she was supposed to complete her second session with that therapist. So they've been meeting the both of them with the Texas Family First worker twice a week. They recently transitioned into the second phase of treatment, which is restructuring. And they're just going to be working on managing their family dynamics and their communication skills with each other. And so I haven't had any concerns voiced from that TFF or that FIS worker. Madison did follow up with the referral that was made for ECI for Kamani. And they didn't enroll her in any services. They actually said that she was pretty advanced for her age. And so she's not going to be needing anything from them. I did help her or take her to turn in an application for housing in Canyon. And so she's currently on a wait list for that. Right now, she's residing with her mother and her and Kamani are. And so they are doing well there. She's allowed me access to the home. We haven't had any issues with that. Any moves that they've made, specifically Devadrian, he's had a couple of moves since leaving Tulia, and he's been just really forthcoming with those moves. So we know where he's staying at. As far as Devadrian goes, this week he was supposed to have completed his 4th counseling session with Crystal Cook. She reports to me that he's been engaged in those counseling sessions and she hasn't had any concerns. He did sign up for BIP and has been trying to log in. I did reach out to them, and that wasn't much help. And so we're looking at maybe a different program for him locally, because that program is actually out of Denton. It's an online program. And so we're going to see if we can do something else as far as like maybe an anger management class or something that's local. Let's see. He's been looking for other employment, but he's currently working for a relative at this point. And so he's just waiting for a social security card to come back, which he did go out last week and start that process to get his social security card. The only issue that we're seeing is that there is the drug test that came back. It's still testing positive for marijuana, but he's been open and honest about his use. There's no use around Kamani whatsoever, and he's agreed to continue to be supervised with Kamani due to that positive drug screen. And because of that, we have referred him to the Padre program at TPC, where they'll be covering substance abuse as well as parenting, some parenting classes there. So. As far as baby goes, she's doing great. All her needs are being met. We don't have any concerns. And ECI doesn't have any concerns for her developmental status either, which is why she wasn't referred for any services through them.
Okay. All that sounds good. Our family centered treatment workers, how are these parents doing in your part of the program?
Yes, Your Honor. So as reported, the family moved. So we did change family intervention specialist to Tori. And so they have been meeting with Tori. We have had a few transportation issues. And so Tori and another coworker have been providing transportation to the family so that they can meet in sessions. They have been open. They are working on communication, also working on some co-parenting as they reside separately, and then addressing the reason for referral. And so both parents have been doing really well with that.
Okay, it sounds like both parents are fully participating. Mr. Moore, tell me what you're learning in your services.
Second, I wrote it down. How to give myself credit, even for little stuff. How to think about Maddie's feelings when I do or say anything, and just how to listen better to each other.
Okay. Ms. Mason, tell me what you're learning in your services.
I am learning how to be more patient with him and see things from his perspective, how to consider his feelings more, and how to give him space whenever we're getting on each other's nerves.
Okay. Okay. Ms. Robinson, do you have any concerns regarding Kamani?
No, Your Honor, she's doing really well with Mom.
All right. Mr. Shaw, anything to add?
No, Your Honor, the parents are fully engaged.
Okay, very good. I will sign an order indicating that both parents are fully participating like they need to be, and I'll set another review hearing May 23rd at 9. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Julie Panger with the department, also present as St. Francis Permanency Specialist. Chris Salinas.
Eleanor Robinson representing the kiddo.
Janelle Garrett with Kase. And Your Honor, if Meredith Long is in the waiting room, she's the advocate on this case.
I don't have anybody in the waiting room. Okay. Mr. Salinas, tell me about Justin. How is he doing?
Justin's doing well. He's still with the foster parents in Dalhart. He is a happy boy. His health is good. His school is going well. He's still struggling with his behaviors. His main negative thoughts are if it's a no, he gets upset and he gets aggressive. He escalates very easily when he's told no. But he is getting therapy for that. He's got an individual counselor and has also got a behavioral therapist in place for him at this time. And he's making a little bit of progress on that. His eating disorders he still struggles with that. He still likes his nuggets and pizza. They try different foods with him and he's just pretty much rejects it. So they're working on trying to get him in food therapy again. And hopefully he'll get engaged on that. We were working on the level of care. He had a basic level of care the last time. Well, it got increased now to moderate level. We got that approved about a week ago, so that's been taken care of. As far as activities, he is involved in soccer. He loves to play soccer, so they're going to keep him busy with that. And medications, no medications. The only time they'll need is melatonin if he's not feeling well, not having a hard time sleeping. But he's got good sleeping habits at this time, Your Honor.
Okay. Tell me the status of the adoption.
The status of adoption is still pending. We're waiting for the CPA to complete the adoptive home study. It's not CPA's oversight. It's waiting on the foster parents to complete some documents so they can complete their home study. So we're just waiting on them to finish up the paperwork.
We have the redaction and the HESIG back.
Yes, Your Honor. Everything's in place.
Okay. Ms. Robinson, any concerns regarding Justin? Additional concerns?
No, Your Honor, just I'm really glad that they got the moderate level of care because this kiddo has some things that are just harder, like the food sensitivities and the autism, but foster home does a really good job.
Okay. Kase, additional concerns regarding Justin?
No, we don't. My advocate has said, that he's doing better. He has had, trouble with the food still. That she reported that Melissa had said, the foster mom had said that she's seeing progress in the improvement with him. She's just, I think a lot of what foster mom's concerns are is if he's going to have the care after she adopts, which they do have that, I believe. I mean, he has to be on Medicaid, the entire time. So I think if that's a concern, that should help out knowing that. But otherwise, he's doing what he's doing.
Okay. Mr. Salinas, do we know if they have hired an attorney for the adoption?
Yes, Your Honor. The attorney's name is William Hamker out of Amarillo.
Okay, maybe you can get with Mr. Hamker and talk to him about what's available as far as aftercare services once the adoption is complete, just so that the foster mom is clear in her mind about what's available to her after this adoption is complete.
Will do, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. Anything else on Justin?
Not from the department.
Okay, we'll set another review hearing August the 22nd at 9. Thank y'all.
Julie Panger with the department, also President St. Francis Permanency Specialist Alicia Walker.
Jana Clift-Williams, I'm the attorney ad litem for the child, Kimberly.
Tell me about Kimberly. Still in the same adoptive foster home?
Yes, she is, and she is doing amazing. She's made a complete 180 because when I first met her, she was extremely shy. She hardly wanted to talk to me at all. And now she is super talkative. She's full of personality. She seems so happy. So that's really great to see. She's also doing amazing in school. She's currently the top student in her class. So she's very smart. She always makes straight A's. She loves dancing, gymnastics. She's currently learning how to rollerblade right now. So she's doing great. I don't have any concerns for her at all.
Okay, that's awesome. Tell me about the status of the adoption.
So she's going to have to get her green card before she can be adopted. And I believe that takes a while to get. So we are just waiting for that.
And that process has begun, Judge. Right now, there's kind of a big waiting game on that, but it's certainly underway. And just waiting.
Where was Kimberly born?
In Guatemala.
Okay. So that might be very complicated right now.
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Cliff Williams, any concerns regarding Kimberly?
None whatsoever, Your Honor. I will just reiterate what Miss Walker said. Kimberly is just thriving in Miss Garcia's home. She is happy. She's very outgoing now. She did say she was a little bored with school, and I suggested maybe she might need to be tested for gifted and talented since she is doing so well in her class. And is kind of bored with the work that she has, making straight A's. So I think she might need a little bit of enrichment. I don't know if the caseworker could help with that, but that would be wonderful if she could. Other than that, that's the only thing that I have to add. And she's a very happy little girl, which is wonderful.
Awesome. I don't see, do we have Kase here? I'm worried that maybe I didn't get them notice that we switched this to 9 a.m. I feel bad.
Are they still on the case since it's after final order?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember if I said, I'll reach out to Kase because I don't know if I did. I'll reach out to them.
Copy me on that email and
sure.
I will respond and certainly apologize to them if it was my fault that they didn't get notice. We changed it to 9.
Absolutely. We'll do that.
Okay. I will set another review hearing for Kimberly August the 22nd at 9.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Happy Friday.
You too.
Okay, Ragland.
Judge, can I have just a couple of minutes in a room with